And we are live. The Aftermath crew is back. We are having a spontaneous Survivor 50 reflection podcast. We kind of just decided we were going to go ahead and do something. We hadn't really planned this out too much, so we're just going to go in on how we feel about this season. We have a special guest tonight, Jacob from our preseason draft. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're going to get your thoughts on the season in a second. But I just want to say before we get into it any further, please, if you're watching along with us, go ahead and like and subscribe. We appreciate everyone who does that here. Please feel free to just check that thumbs up button if you're watching this, and leave us a comment and chat it up with us. We love getting the banter from everyone. Chase and I went to the finale show in Baltimore, hosted by Gabe from Survivor 40 Several. That was a really good time, man. I had a blast. Met a lot of fun personalities and players. I think my favorite was Gio.
Gio was fantastic.
Gio talked to us the most, but I got to say Nora's my favorite, truly. I can't ever put anyone above Nora. Just a sweetheart, and had a great time talking with her. But yeah, let's get into it, Jacob. It's been a while since we caught up with you. How are you feeling about Survivor 50 and the way it played out and the season as a whole?
I tell you what, I loved it, and then I saw as soon as Ozzy started talking to Aubrey about his, he was trying to jury manage, and as soon as he lost Cirie, I knew that was the end of the road for him and the end of the road for. I figured that'd be the end of the road for Cirie also, and from that point forward, I was like, I actually ended up rooting for Rizzo the last two episodes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a Rizzo fan too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think he might be my favorite new era player. So.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Ozzy losing his chaperone. I just thought that was one of the best parts of the season. Like he lost his handler and then just unable to play the game after that. Just immediately folds as hard as possible. Ozzy, we love you. It's just so unfortunate, man. I had that as one of my topics I wanted to bring up tonight. Let's just get into that right off the bat. Ozzy really choked this season away. That Sir Wizard of Oz Alliance was in a really powerful position going into that.
Solid.
And he just collapsed, man. What could have been, man? Cirie could have potentially won if she could dog walk Ozzy all the way to the end and then sit next to Rizzo too. I mean, that's a winning combination for Cirie.
Absolutely.
That was my prediction. I thought that if Ozzy didn't do something stupid, and I don't know if I love how they split them up that small and Ozzy crashed and burned, but I think Cirie knew from day one that Ozzy was her ticket to the finale because she wasn't winning at Fire and she wasn't winning Final Immunity, and nobody was just going to bring her to the finale other than Ozzy. So I thought that as soon as he went out, she realized, I'm next.
That's a great take.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any other thoughts on the season as a whole? How do you feel? What are your most notable moments, most notable twists? Who really wowed you? Who disappointed in your opinion? How was the legacy of certain players? Just give me some more thoughts, man. Rizzo, I guess, went up in your mind, it seems.
Big time.
Anyone else?
I think. Oh, go ahead, Jacob.
I really want to get Jacob's takes to start, if you don't mind.
I think Colby really redeemed himself. He was, because I had watched Heroes vs. Villains right before 50, and the beast that was Colby for Survivor 2 was such a lame duck for Heroes vs. Villains. Was gone for a decade, and I think he really redeemed himself socially and physically. He did okay too.
Yeah, he carried that damn snake all by himself over his shoulder, man. That was insane. Unfortunately, he was basically about to get medevac, so they just cut him.
Yep.
Gracefully. Anyone else? Legacies improve or fall in your opinion? Anything notable?
Camilla disappointed me a little bit. I was really excited to watch her play, and I felt like she got screwed a little bit, and she
pretty hard, honestly. I mean,
she got screwed ridiculously.
We'll get to the Blood Moon in a minute here, but it's really unfortunate that she got flipped into a position after blindsiding Jonathan into a vote with Jonathan and his allies right there. Just, it's hard to fault her for that. You can't predict something like that happening.
Mm-hmm. But she's someone I would have liked to see go a little bit farther.
Yeah, she'd be a really prime candidate, in my opinion, for a new era All-Stars season. But yeah, I guess let's get into a quick debate topic that Chase and I had back and forth for a while on one of these podcasts. The win equity for Rizzo. You mentioned earlier you're a Rizzo fan here.
Mm.
I'm just going to give you my take straight here. I love Rizzo. He's a very entertaining character. I don't think there was a chance in the world there was any situation where he would like get more than 1-2 max jury votes against anyone he's sitting next to. It's not even his fault. He played a semi-decent game. But the demographics of that jury, I don't think they would have rewarded a 25, 26-year-old kid who doesn't have, no offense, a ton of life experience with a $2 million prize, especially if you sit next to people who have like kids or are decades older than him. I mean, it was just an older jury, generally speaking. And I don't know, man. He's a great player, but like what combination of players does he have to sit next to win? Because once you got to that final like 6, I don't think he had a chance against anyone.
I mean, I think he could have beat Joe, and
I'll give you Joe, but he needs someone else.
Yeah, well, and tell you what, going into the second to last episode, I would have said he could have sat next to Aubrey and won, but she kind of had this upward arc where she really did finish strong, and I'll give her credit there. I'm not the biggest Aubrey fan out there, but I think she did finish hot, where I think if he could have somehow pulled out a win, or maybe even if he won at Fire, that or win final immunity, that could have given him a push, maybe to get some votes. But I do think you're right. I think 50 was not the season that he had a shot to win purely based off of demographics, but I think we'll see him again. I hope we see him again.
Yeah, I think we will see him again, and I also hope we see him again. New Era All-Stars, he is like probably the number one choice besides like Jesse or Carolyn for that. Genevieve, actually. I'll put Genevieve up in that tier as well. Yeah, all right. You want to start from the beginning here? Anything else you want to reflect on before we just get into the season here?
Let's go.
Anything notable? All right. Actually, before we get into the season, let's talk about our preseason draft. That was a fun podcast. I really enjoyed that. I don't know how you all feel about it, but you can just go from the top or the bottom here.
So
Jacob the 1-1. Yeah.
You had Ozzy.
And I'm happy with it. I really do think that if he didn't mess up, didn't mess up when the tribes were split. Like, I think he knew that he was going to try and be a little more social. I think he did okay at times, but I think he had, especially behind the scenes, I think he had Sari to bounce things off of repeatedly. And as soon as he lost her, he got a little cocky, and that didn't go well for him.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty, in my opinion, crazy 1-1 pick. I was shocked when you did it, but looking back on it, man, Ozzy was always a contender going into the season. He's going to be a contender on any season he goes into, and I respect the stones it takes to make that pick at 1-1. I was just happy you didn't take my pick at 1-2, Coach. I mean, Coach is on the board. I got to take him. He's probably not going to win this season, but man, it's fun to have him on your team. And I was rooting for him every episode, laughing at him every episode he was in. And it was just such a joy to have Coach on Survivor 50. I signed me up for Coach on any season of Survivor, as long as he's alive, as long as he's alive on this earth and healthy and can do Survivor. Like, I'll take him any season. I don't care. I'll never get Coach fatigue myself. And he went down like in such a Coach manner, trying to not be Coach, and as soon as he stops being Coach, he gets eliminated.
As soon as he stopped being Coach.
I know. I don't know if we'll see him again on Survivor, but maybe he'll get called for something else, and I'd love to watch him try and play something else.
Put him on the Traitors.
Put Coach on the Traitors.
Put him on the Traitors. He's meant for the Traitors. He is meant for the Traitors. He's got fashion. He's got energy. He's not afraid to be aggressive, and he's gonna thrive in that social setting in the Scottish Highlands. I just need Coach on the Traitors. That would be a dream come true.
Either role too.
Yeah, he'd be excellent as either. Chase, any comments from you?
I had the next two picks at Christian and Tiffany. Christian, I am not upset about him taking him first either. I thought he had a solid shot at winning. I mean, the first pre-merge, he had a winner's edit as well. Like, it was looking great for him until Aubrey decided to, boost her game. And it was a shame, but I love Mr. Poopy Pants.
Yeah, Christian's another great character. He fits into any season, essentially. He's such a unique archetype.
Yeah.
I wanted to go over
Devins.
Yeah, the shenanigans they brought to the show were excellent and much needed. At times it was dull, and it was nice to have their antics there. Yeah, the way
And
he
then
got
I had-
eliminated was pretty brutal too, man. One in the urn.
One of
Not
the
fun.
awful twist.
Yeah.
Awful twist.
We'll get into the twists. I have the
Okay.
twists on the agenda, on the itinerary for us. Let's just zoom through this draft then, because
All right,
the
so yeah.
the highlights are definitely at the top.
So yeah, next Tiff. You guys were surprised I picked her that early, and I knew she was going far. I had a feeling that she was going far.
Yeah, she was high on my
and-
list.
And I
Definitely
was
one of the
right.
top women. Yep. Yeah. She's definitely one of those people I'd love to see on a new era All Stars season. I think
Me too.
she would.
You know,
excel
I'm going to be
in that.
completely honest. When I saw that she was on the list for 50, I thought she played a good game, but I didn't think she played a good enough game to be brought back for 50. But I don't know. I knew she was going to do well, and she surprised me at the same time.
I was a doubter at first, but she really, and I think she got a bad edit the first half of 50, and then she just showed how fantastic she is post merge.
Yep, I agree. And yeah, she was super underrated. I mean, that was a huge talk about the community for like after the first 5 or 6 episodes was how the females were under edited this season. And then all of a sudden they started getting edits after the merge. So maybe that wasn't production doing that on purpose, and it was strategic to show how good the women played post merge. I don't know.
Well, and if you think about it, she was literally like she could potentially be a puzzle piece away from $2 million. Like she,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I was waiting to say that. Yeah, she's potentially one immunity challenge win, 2 maybe to get $1 million. I think she sweeps potentially. If she sits next to Aubrey, not so much, but Aubrey would have been eliminated in that spot, so like probably doesn't matter. I think she sweeps against the guys.
Yep.
Maybe Jonathan gets a few votes against her. But yeah, anything else on Tiff before I go in on my boy?
No.
God, I love Q. This was me picking with my heart and not my head. I knew there was no shot in the world he's winning this game, but I wanted him on my team so bad. And just having Coach and Q back to back is such a like. I'm winning the like. I'm definitely not winning in terms of placements for my fantasy team here, but entertainment value, mine is just mogging me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, Rick at 2-3, man. That was fun, Jacob. Rick is a very fun character.
And I think he gave us everything. He gave me everything I was hoping for this season. He's risky, he's ballsy. He's going to play a good social game. He's not afraid to backstab someone, but he's a good player. He plays kind of honest in some ways. But I absolutely loved watching him play the entire time. The middle people.
Playing
And
with a
then
lot of
3-1.
joy and energy that is needed in this game, making the most of every situation and truly enjoying himself at all times, savoring the moment on Survivor. If you ever get put on the islands of Fiji, you got to just enjoy it as much as possible. I think Rick did a great job of summarizing.
I think that was one of my favorite things I've seen from him. He said it on the show, before the show, after the show. He said, I just went out there to have fun and play a fun game.
And I think he played hard. Like he had a good combo of playing hard but playing fun. Like
Yes.
he wasn't out there to screw people over. He wasn't out there to be strictly a gamer, but he had good gameplay, but was entertaining to watch.
Yep. All right. So then 3-1, you got your next pick right there, the mayor of
D.
Ponderosa.
I was so happy I had D. I think she came with some fire. She brought a great game, good at challenges. I don't regret that pick at all. I think she's another one where I think being a winner and having that on your resume, just that doesn't bode well for a returner season.
I think the true nail in the coffin was her letting Jonathan get under her skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Jonathan,
and the fact that
really-
she was the only winner left. I mean, they were never going to let
Yeah.
her go far. You don't want a 2-time winner coming out of this season.
She may have survived a couple more votes though, had she not blown up and taken Jonathan's bait.
You're definitely correct about that for sure. She might have gone a little bit farther. I just don't think.
But
it's
she
similar,
wasn't.
It's similar to the Rizzo situation where the demographics of the season just work against her so hard. And same with Kyle and same with Savannah. No fault to them. It's just the way it was structured. Only having 3 winners out of 24. That's 7/8 of the cast are like demographically different than you.
Yep.
and they kind of hold that against you in a way. So she had no shot, unfortunately. But yeah, great pick. I mean, great value there for sure.
So
I'll be quick
Nick-
with Angelina. Yeah, I'll be quick with Ange. I was expecting a lot more from her in terms of personality and chaos and like moments, and maybe it was just she was a victim of the edit because you can't control the way they edit you on this show. But definitely her legacy, I think, takes a little bit of a fall in my opinion. I mean, in like one way, she's showing for sure that like she has matured and is a more intelligent person and is able to control herself more. But like that's not what I want from Angelina on Survivor. I want the chaotic moments where she just like forgets how to be a polite person or like social cues and things. Like she's figured it out, and that's not as entertaining as what we're used to with Angelina. So I don't know if she'll ever be back. I don't know if she ever goes far in this game again, but it was fun to have her on this season. And yeah, I don't know, not much to add on there.
At least she got a jacket.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool moment.
All right, so
Full circle with that.
Absolutely. She didn't even have to ask for it this time. All right, so next up, Jenna. Very, very disappointed in her gameplay. I guess it's because she's been so far removed, but I was not expecting her to target Cirie from day one. That's literally what sent her home. And that was it with Jenna. That's all it was. She targeted Cirie. Cirie clocked her for it and said, "You're not going to stick around if you're targeting me on day one."
I also think Jenna like was right though, dude. She clocked Cirie as a huge threat. Look at what happened. Cirie controlled damn near the entire game, dude. She was right.
No, she was, but Jenna was.
You come for the queen. You come for the queen. You best not miss. You know. Yeah.
You
gotta
execute. Too vocal about it. She gotta. Yeah. I don't know.
It's that old era, new era flop where I feel like people that haven't played in a long time see how they played in the past, and then they flip to a polar opposite, and it's almost like they don't play as themselves, and then it comes and bites them.
Yeah. And then Jonathan.
I mean, I give it to Jenna. I like that she's coming in being aggressive. I like that. I like aggressive players in Survivor. I'd rather not see a bunch of passive,
I just think that
conservative
she
gameplay.
It the wrong way. That's my.
Well,
point.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't really have a good position on that tribe to begin with. She was kind of the odd person out in a lot of ways starting out. So it's not like she had much wiggle room and much to do. And good for her for trying and being aggressive and not just being one of those passive conservative players who sits back and doesn't say anything and like hopes that it's not her and then throws her shot in the dark out there. Like at least she like tried and did something. So you want that. That's different than what a lot of the new era players do. A lot of the new era players are like, I just want to make it to the next round. All I care about is that. And it's like, no, I'm going to go for someone who I know is a huge threat and is potentially going to gun for me and put my neck out there. And her neck got chopped. It just so happened. But in an alternate universe, man, if she cuts Cirie right there, maybe Jenna goes deep.
Maybe Jenna goes deep. Yeah.
So I don't want to fault her as much as you guys are, but I thought she brought it for the one episode she was there.
Again, my point is the approach, not the execution, not the approach. But anyway, so we got Jonathan up next. I mean, everything I could have hoped for from him. Actually one more. I would have liked him to be a little bit more of a challenge beast like he was before. He wasn't quite the challenge beast that we saw from him in 42.
In my opinion, I think he sandbags it a little bit this season because you don't want to just be ultra dominant. Yeah. I think he could have busted it out at any point in time. And I think you saw it from him in the individual immunity challenges pretty hard. Like he was really trying. So I think in the pre-merge, he was kind of taming the beast a little bit. I don't just want to like show everyone that I'm the best out here.
But still, I mean, I'm shocked. Even in individual, I mean, he didn't really win anything. He always fell short.
I think he won 2 or 3. What are you talking about, dude?
He only won 1.
He won 2.
No, he won the one that was like reviewed by the group. There was where like Tiffany fell off 2 feet. I think he won. I think he won one before that, and then he definitely won. Was the final 5 where Tiffany got eliminated?
You just counted that Tiff one twice. I forgot about the Tiff one.
I'm pulling up fandom later too. I'm pulling up fandom. Does it show who won immunities? No, not handy at least. Oh yeah, it does. Immunity. Jonathan. He won 2.
Okay. Yeah, I just forgot about the Tiff one. That was.
I didn't love that one.
But anyways, So sure, he won a second one. I did.
He was the only one to compete with Tiff, dude.
Yeah, he really was. He was the only.
I
one
guess
who could
Joe
stand
a
up.
little bit too.
I loved watching him and Christian work together for that one challenge where he's the challenge beast.
Oh,
he
David, they call it David versus Goliath.
Yeah,
They're like giant, and
he pulled it up. He's like, I need a puzzler.
that was funny.
And he won. I wasn't the biggest Jonathan fan for the first half of the season, but when he baited D and got D to eliminate herself like that, he earned some street cred there, I thought.
Yeah, Jonathan played great. I love him. Bring him back for any season. He was awesome. I was thinking about taking him with a 3-2 pick during our draft. I just didn't want to stack it heavy with like alpha male men. So I diversified a little bit. And that leads into my next pick with Suri.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys just let me get great value there. In the 4th round with Suri on the board, I couldn't not take her. Don't have much to say. She played exactly how I thought she was going to play. She dominated from start to finish and then got into a position, classic Suri position, lose an immunity challenge, run out of allies. Everybody knows you're going to win the game if you don't get voted out here. So she gets voted out. You guys have anything else to add with Suri? I mean, she's the freaking queen, the best to never win. Don't have much to say aside from that.
No,
I could talk about it for hours, so no need. I mean, she was my favorite person all season.
All right, well, back to you, Jacob. You got back-to-backs. How do you feel about these two?
My prediction for Joe to start the season did not happen. I thought without having Eva with him, he was going to play a little more backstabbing, a little less honest, and I feel like there's a lot of parallels between Joe this season and Colby in Heroes vs. Villains.
Well, I just want to add on to what you just said. Like, I was super, super excited to see Joe play Survivor without Eva. And I was hoping he'd be more cutthroat and savage. But, man, he just did the exact same thing 2 summers in a row on Survivor.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he played the exact same game twice, got to the final, and I think he got 3rd place in both seasons. I mean, that's just Joe.
Yeah.
That's what we should expect from him if he ever comes back, is he's probably going to get dragged along.
He finally did play a little bit, but he wasn't cutthroat. It wasn't like conniving or scheming.
I mean, they literally had a Joe-tation, dude. They were filling him in on votes, hoping he wouldn't screw things up. Like, name a movie made. What did he do? Name a movie.
I mean, yeah, he couldn't even do that in FTC.
I think the jury, yeah, exactly. I think at Final Tribal, the jury was like, "Tell us what you did," and he was like, I made
I
allies.
didn't do anything.
No disrespect.
I was honest the whole time.
I don't mean this to be disrespectful because we love Joe. I'm actually a huge fan of Joe. I really like him a lot. But I mean, we need to see some savage gameplay out of you, Joe. If you're ever going to win this show, man, got to make some moves. Got to be cutthroat. Pull a Jesse Lopez and cut an ally out of nowhere. And man, the community loves you as a hero. Imagine how much the community would love Joe if he becomes a villain in New Era All Stars. So Joe's got a lot of potential, in my opinion. Especially if he like plays a similar game and then completely flips it in the end game of a 3rd attempt for him at Survivor. So I do see a lot of equity there with Joe.
Yeah, he doesn't have to go and be a Russell Hantz, but yeah, one good move could have really vaulted him. Maybe not to win, but to at least get a handful of votes at the finale. Which leads us to Mike. Jacked Mike White.
Jacked Mike White.
I thought he played an all right game. He definitely. Before he was eliminated, I feel like he had some good strategy. He had some good gameplay. He's a good storyteller. I just think that, potentially demographics also. I think people knew that he wasn't going to win, and when it was time to cut him, they did.
Well, the thing was, Mike was going to go for Christian, and Christian cut him before Mike would cut Christian. Yeah. That's what it came down to.
Well, we never got the true closure on that. Mike claims still to this day that he wanted to work with Christian, and I guess that's why he's so bitter toward him. But maybe Christian just wanted to make sure he didn't get got. Yeah. I like Mike's energy. I like the way he was playing the game. Great addition for season 50, in my opinion.
I think Mike was a great casting decision for 50.
Yeah, and good value in round 5. Speaking of great value in round 5, man, Genevieve could have been. What could have been with Genevieve? I mean, she was in such a great spot when she got eliminated. She was in a strong alliance with some power players. She had given advantages to 2 other players, so people were certainly willing to work with her. Her biggest adversary was Aubrey, and Aubrey was not in a good position before the Blood Moon twist. So, I mean, you look at the situation she got swapped into at the Blood Moon, it was her against Aubrey and then 3 of Aubrey's allies.
Yeah.
Right there. So there's just No
Awful.
shot in the world she could have done anything besides play her shot in the dark, and it didn't hit, and then that's it. And classy exit with Genevieve, giving up her jacket to Aubrey, like a trophy, for the mantle. Just so much respect for Genevieve as a player. She got brutally screwed over this season. She's got to be the number one choice, I would say, for a New Era's All-Stars or a second chance or just any future returnee season. Like, you need to have Genevieve in there. Her story cannot end with the way it ended on season 50. It's just so unfair and unfortunate what happened to her. We need to see her have like another opportunity to play this game, because if the roles were reversed, if she came out victorious over Aubrey, it could have been her going all the way. She's really athletic, good at challenges, good at puzzles, good social game, good strategic game. It's just so unfortunate they had to like do this silly blood moon twist and Genevieve got from it. It's just brutal, man. And I thought I had the winner in round 5. But no, alas, we lose her to a blood moon.
Genevieve has to be one of the most unlucky, if not the most unlucky player to ever play Survivor.
She's at the top of my list to see again.
So there were some other things that Genevieve has said. Genevieve has said that production has made her feel like she's an awful Survivor player and will never play again unless it's blood versus water with her husband. So let's get another blood versus water in the 50s.
Dude, I love blood versus water seasons. So like, throw Genevieve in there. Yeah, number 1. Yeah.
Please.
Let's see her husband out there too. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Chase and I can do that one.
Yeah, see us casted together. Blood versus water. So, Colby, Jacob highlighted him pretty well. Very nice redemption story. Nick, like you said, he was already on his way out to get medevaced. So I appreciated Jeff's send-off for him. I thought production did a good job with that, and Colby is officially in Survivor retirement. So Godspeed, Colby. We love you.
Nothing but love and respect, Colby. We salute you, sir. You're a legend. You're a king, and we love you.
Emily, at round 6, I thought she was going to have more of a redemption season, and I thought this was kind of like actually, I thought this was great stock having Emily at round 6, and she, instead of gameplay, she gave me entertainment, which I was not expecting from her. Emily's entertainment factor this season was through the roofs. Chaos Cass times 10. Emily was there just.
I don't know about that. That's I gotta stop you there. Chaos Cass is like a vicious person, a mean-spirited person. Emily is just like spilling the beans to everyone. Like that. That's a huge different.
I just
like
meant
archetypes.
I meant chaos factor.
Okay,
that's more what I mean.
You can't bring Cass into this because Cass is like mean, and Emily's not mean.
No, I mean chaos factor. If we're going by chaos factor, which is what I just said. Chaos.
I mean, she brought it. Yeah, it was entertaining. I can't imagine how tough it would be to like work with her in Survivor. But yeah, she's a great character. I think I'm pretty much down for Emily in most season formats, but maybe like let there be a little more time in between her returning again. Give some other New Era contestants a chance before her.
Yeah,
good character. Maybe not the most like apt player to make a deep run, in my opinion, but very, very entertaining character and like brought it for 50.
Absolutely.
Speaking of people who brought it for 50, I had very low expectations for Kyle going into the season. He wasn't someone who was high on my list. I honestly took him here thinking I could potentially get Stephanie in the next round, and just tried to keep the gender balance a little even on my team here. Unfortunate what happened to him. He was in a really good position on his starting tribe, at least when he got injured. Also glad that he has made a full recovery in real life. Kyle, we love you. But you were also in a situation like D where, just the demographics of the season work against you and you probably weren't going to make a deep run all the way to the end and win. I could see people like taking Kyle deep, especially if he was in that Honor and Integrity Alliance. I don't know. I mean, he was playing well up until he got hurt, and then he got hurt.
And then he got.
I think he's almost someone that, where we say we wish Joe would have just made a big move to cut someone. I think he could have been in that Honor and Integrity Alliance and 2/3 of the way through, when the time was right, made that bold move where he cut someone, and I think he could have vaulted himself. Again, I don't know if he would have won, especially if he a winner was sitting next to someone that's not a winner that also played a good game. I don't think it goes to him, but
I do think Joe would target him in the merge too. Just like, hey, I can't let the same thing happen to me again. But his medevac unlocked Camilla, let her spread her wings.
Absolutely. I was really happy to see Camilla be able to play her.
We'll get to Camilla in a minute.
Yeah,
Let's move on to Rizzo. I think we're good on Kyle. I mean, there's not much to say about him. He kind of got, unfortunately, medically evacuated off this season. But yeah, Riz God, RIZGOD, Riz God, baby, the man, the myth, the legend.
I mean, I think he played a great game. I loved watching him play. I think I never had to worry if he needed to play as idol or not. Like, where Ozzy, I'm like screaming at the TV. I'm like, player idol, player. Rizzo, he has that social savvy where I trusted him. I'm like, if it's a good time for him to play his idol, he's going to, and he was able to ride through to the end of the game and hold his idol again. Now, of course, nobody on this season saw him play. But he's another one that's in, my top 5 who I'd like to see play again. And I think he could make a deep run again. I think he's very socially savvy.
I think if Rizzo gets into an All-Stars, they're going to cut him early.
That's where I was going.
I would love to see him go far and get his win, but I don't know. It's like again, Cerise Wizard of Oz. It kind of reminds me of like a whole Cerise scenario where it's like, oh, Rizzo has an idol. Oh, he's just going to talk his way to the end, and he's not going to get voted out. I think they're going to clock him early.
Yeah, I like Rizzo. Fun character. I don't feel like I need to see him again, and I think for his sake, he needs to have a long break in between his seasons playing. Maybe he can get some life experience. Maybe hypothetically, he and his girlfriend get married, and like more time passes. I think he'll have a better perspective on the world and on like social politics. Yeah, and I think he's better suited for another run at it, maybe like 5 to 10 years down the line from now when he's a bit older.
Maybe he'll get himself in shape too. Maybe he'll put a little muscle.
I mean, he was decently lean before he got on season 49. Like he was relatively muscular and had some like muscle to him. It's just when you play back-to-back seasons, it's brutal on your body. I think there was like 9 or 12 days between the 49 ending, and he got on a plane and then comes right back home. So like 4 of those days are transit. I mean, it's not enough time to just like put on muscle and put on fat. Like it's hard.
So how do you not stay in Fiji? Like if you're playing again, like why?
I don't think he knew. I don't think they knew, dude. I don't think so. I think production made the decision quickly, and just called him and called Savannah, and of course those two are gonna say yeah.
Of
course. They just finished. Of course they're gonna say yeah.
All right, let's zoom through these last 6.
Yeah, Stephanie, I don't have a whole lot to say about Stephanie. It's not that I didn't like her. I thought she played kind of a bland game, though.
I appreciated her during the final tribal council. Just having her moment and being like, I don't really have a question. I'm just gonna gas up Jonathan. I love Jonathan, and I'm voting for him, and I'm just gonna hype him up. And then a point I want to make about that is not a fan of Tiffany as a juror. We saw it in season 46 where she was like, everybody 30 seconds, let's go. And then on this season, she really tries to dictate the conversation during Final Tribal Council, and I'm not a fan of that from jurors. That's not a knock against Tiffany as a player, but against Tiffany as a juror. Let people say what they want,
Also, there have been multiple other seasons where people don't ask a question. They really do just hype the person that they wanted to win. That's never been an issue in the past 49 seasons.
Or you just go up there and rip someone. Or you screw you, Russell Hantz.
They were worried about hurting Joe's feelings. So, or at least that's how it was edited, that they were worried about hurting Joe's feelings just for praising Jonathan.
Good thing we have Final Tribal next time we see your play.
That's a good point. Yeah, Tiff could go deep.
Yeah.
We are All-Stars. So I guess to close out on Steph, though, she brought it. She played well. It could have been her at the beginning when Q got voted out. She made the best of every situation she was in, and then she kind of fell on her sword for Jonathan, and Jonathan made a deep run, and she was ride or die with Jonathan. So respect for Steph. She played a good game, and yeah, not disappointed in any way from Steph. Someone who I think is another prime candidate for we'll use the term swap screwed is Chrissy, my 7-2 pick.
Yeah.
The double duo twist, I mean, just devastating for her.
Brutal.
What can you really do in that position? What can you really do? Pick a different partner. I mean that's pretty much it. I just really tough situation. And if I remember correctly, in the double duo challenge, like they were right in it. I think only 3 could move past the first round of that double duo immunity, and they were like the 4th place team, so they really weren't too far out of it. Just unfortunate, man. Another one of the many people on the season who got screwed over by a twist.
She cracked me up that episode though, where she like when she planted Coach in the hammock and then told him, don't move, don't say anything. That I was laughing my heart out there.
In a very satisfying way that they edited her with her cancer story. Just want to shout that out there. It was nice to get that I guess retrospective on her early on in the season. Definitely gave some perspective on what she has gone through in life since playing on season 35. And I think she was kind of viewed as a villain before this season, and I think she got a heroic edit. So that was cool.
Yeah. All right, now Charlie. Oh, Charlie.
May I go first on this one?
Sure.
I just want to say, out of all the players on this season, I think the biggest legacy hit is got to be Charlie. Just tunnel vision out the gate with this Rizzo thing. As soon as he figured out that Rizzo like told that story about his closest ally, and that was his downfall, man. And
that's what
I've always been one to question Charlie's game from season 46. I don't want to come off as too much of like a hater, quote unquote, here, but I really felt that Kenzie played a better game than him in 46, which is a controversial take. I didn't see much from him this season, man. Like, he didn't do all that much in season 46, aside from like his joint moves with Maria. And then obviously there's the controversial ending to 46, which we're not going to get into. Like, I don't feel like he changed up his gameplay here. He was kind of like,
he doubled down.
He was saying that he wanted to play differently, and he didn't do much different that I saw. And then he just got clapped by Rizzo, dude. Rizzo just owned him. Truly, like he just owned him in terms of gameplay. It was one or the other. It was like the Genevieve Aubrey situation. Like they're very similar archetypes in terms of casting, and it's similar with like the Genevieve and the Aubrey situation where they're similar archetypes, and there's not enough room on the island for 2 people in the same archetype. So Rizzo got him and made it all the way to the end. Is it like a Genevieve Aubrey situation where if Charlie gets Rizzo there, Charlie goes to the end, or do you guys think Charlie, like, I don't know? What are your thoughts? I'm just going in on him. I don't mean to.
You're saying everything I was going to say. So
okay.
I think the thing is with Charlie, either way, if he didn't get tunnel vision with Rizzo, he would have gotten tunnel vision with someone else. The biggest thing with Charlie, where a lot of these other castmates, they have healed from their wounds from their previous seasons. Charlie hasn't let 46 go. And that would have, if he didn't let 46 go, he was never going to be able to make it to the end.
Well, and not even like letting go, but he almost like doubled down. And I thought at times it almost felt like he was like playing a caricature of who he was in 46. Like it felt a little performative at times, I thought.
That's a good point.
I like Charlie, I will say. Seems like a good guy. And maybe it was just a little too soon for him to play Survivor again. And if he gets a third opportunity at it, who knows? Maybe he goes deep. Could be like a Tony situation where he has a really good first crack at it, plays a second time and flops on his face, and then plays a third time and then wins.
And just figures it out.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. Don't want to like say the future is bland for Charlie, but his legacy definitely took a bit of a hit this round. But entertaining, nonetheless, entertaining character. You like that. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So after that, we got Savannah. I mean, I honestly have much to say about that.
Dead in the water coming in. Yeah. Just unfortunate for her.
She just won. Everyone knew that she had won. Like, there was zero shot that she was going to be the first ever person to win back-to-back seasons.
Seems like a cool person. I definitely want to hang out with her in real life.
Oh, yeah, I would. Yeah, she seems
just
awesome.
just had no shot coming in. All right, let's go to Aubrey. I was super low on Aubrey coming into the season. I didn't even think I was going to pick her. I just viewed her as more value
honestly,
over Camilla there.
All three of us were obviously low on Aubrey.
Yeah.
And what do you know? The winner was in round 8. What do you know? What do you know? She played a great game for the cards she was dealt. She got lucky in a lot of spots, and I think we'll get into that during the rest of this podcast. So let's save that for a little bit later here. And then Camilla, to round us out, thoughts on Camilla?
I mean, we kind of touched on it already. I think she got screwed. She's someone I'd like to see again. I just didn't, I don't think she got the opportunity to do a whole lot. The one good part about Kyle going out early was that it kind of set her free a little bit.
Yeah, she could spread her
really
wings.
Opportunities to make that happen, though. So she's another one that I feel like there's a lot left on the table. And I hope the producers see that and give her a call back at some point.
And swap screwed hard. I mean, I think it was the Charlie vote. She flipped on Charlie, and then that in the very next round just swapped into a position where the people she betrayed were on the other side of the vote. So, yeah, new era All-Stars. Call Camilla. We'd like to see her play again. All right, let's get into some other topics here. I was thinking we go through the episodes and talk about the key moments, but that might just eat a ton of time up here. So let's get into the twists. I want to go through the major twists of this season with you guys. So we'll just start at the very top. We had an Exile Island twist at the very beginning of the season. What'd you guys think of that? Instead, that was like the Sweat versus Savvy thing.
Yeah,
you guys like that better, or do you like Sweat versus Savvy better? We've had a ton of iterations of Sweat versus Savvy over the new era. I guess what has been your favorite version of that, and how did you feel about this season's?
I think my favorite Sweat versus Savvy was actually the original, where you got to choose either Sweat or Savvy based on whoever won the competition. I think that gave an advantage towards the winning tribe, and that kind of seemed to work out the best. I know everyone went undefeated in those, but when they combined Sweat and Savvy, that was a little rough. I don't know. I think I liked picking Sweat or Savvy.
Same.
I liked the one where, if it were my choice, both tribes, they arrive back to their camp, and the winning tribe obviously gets like their advantages to start, and the other two losing tribes go back to camp, and they have the option to choose Sweat or Savvy, and then just do a challenge, like whatever it is. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And then it's all fair and even, and you don't have one tribe just on a lower peg than the others going in. Because that tends to just snowball and spiral into a disaster tribe when you have like one at a lower status than the others. Give each tribe a fair opportunity to get it. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, then they're SOL. But yeah, I enjoyed this season a lot, actually. It was really fun. Got some drama with Coach and Ozzy, like
right off the bat.
Q just shrugging his shoulders, like, well, I don't know what to do.
Coach making Kyle's injury about him right after winning the challenge.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was fun.
I love that. That was like the first 3 episodes. Like that was as good as Survivor gets, I think. Like the Coach and I beat, like that was awesome, I thought.
And then the next twist I would want to get into is the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, and I feel like I have to say the entire. So let's get into this a little bit. I don't want to go too deep into the Billie Eilish topics. We've talked about it in the past. I don't really want to blame her. I'm not mad at Billie Eilish in any way personally. I do think she was put into a weird position where like Survivor probably reached out to her and was like, hey, like
that's gotta be what it was.
Yeah. And for her, it was probably almost a situation where she was probably blindsided a little bit and like didn't know the extent of what they were going to use her like name and likeness for. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I always want to open the benefit of the doubt, but that's just my impression is like they contacted Billie and were like, give us an idea, or they even like had options and said, pick one of these. And then they just associated it to her. I think it would have been cool if the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol was structured differently. I don't like that the players could only use it on themselves. It just like really limits the gameplay. It makes it a bit stale. And then it kind of incentivizes people like Rizzo, for example, to just hold it forever.
Right.
You can't use it for anyone else. You can just bluff it every episode. I think if you're gonna do something like that, maybe have like 3 different celebrities, one for each tribe, and have them be different things. Like Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, Jimmy Fallon like Jumbo Idol or something, and it works for 2 people, or just like something.
The Sia Idol.
Exactly. Have different celebrities, because then it's just like, I don't know. There's so many.
Or you know how the Billie Eilish Idol would have worked out better was if you got voted out holding the idol, then you had to give it to someone else.
Kind of like a fire token. Yeah, that's cool too. I like that. I also like the concept of it boomeranging back to the original person. It's just having the same exact thing on all 3 islands is lame.
That was, yeah.
You got to have different things, and maybe there's a game fairness aspect of it where they have to be like equal power and equal value. But like, I don't know. The way they went about it this season didn't work.
Hear me out. There's a journey where each
not another journey. No, I'm gonna stop you right there. No more journeys. No more journeys. Stop them. Stop it.
There's a journey where the people who go to the journey get to decide which idol goes to their camp.
Sure.
But
then you have to tell everyone on the like, you have to make it so that they have to come home and like they have to read the thing like Christian did, and they have to tell everyone there is a Jumbo Idol on our beach somewhere, and then it's like finally hidden. That's not a bad idea.
I wouldn't even say necessarily that. I mean, everyone knows. Maybe there's a paper that says there is going to be an idol planet, and again, I like the option of them being able to tell their, I don't know, their tribe that like, oh, there's just going to be a hidden immunity idol planet, and I just found out, that sort of thing.
Man, this could be another off-season podcast for us, like potential twists and potential opportunities for production, like our ideas.
I liked the idea of the boomerang idol. Like I thought it presented an interesting game mechanic, and I think it's disappointing that the mechanic wasn't able to be used to create drama this season. I thought the Billie Eilish part was a little weird, only in that, like, if I was a producer, like, I don't think linking Billie Eilish to the idol brought anyone else to Survivor. Like, no, I don't think anyone was like, Survivor, what's that? Oh, but Billie Eilish is supporting it, so let me go watch it now.
Yeah.
But I thought the mechanic was cool. I thought the mechanic would have worked better if it was one idol at the merge, and then that way everyone's on the same beach. It can be secret. It cannot be secret. You can give it to an ally. You can give it to an ally that you're going to cut. You can give it to a middle person. I think one of them and that mechanic would have worked better mid-game.
I just think you got to have different advantages on each island. It kind of goes into what Chase was saying, but yeah. All right, next up would be Zach Brown. Cool reward. Killed me with the amount of screen time he got. I mean, just
that killed me.
Took away from the gameplay. But yeah, very cool episode, very unique Survivor episode. I'm good for one of those every 50 seasons.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know if I want that again.
It should have been like a bonus content or a like a YouTube video. Like the extended version should have been a YouTube video. Give me 5 minutes.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Give me 25 minutes. Give me a Zach Brown concert on YouTube. Like I need more of like Coach talking about how he's just like, this is like the greatest day of his life, or just things like that. Like more camp content. I don't know. That's what it ate into in that episode, and that's what my problem with it was. But still a cool episode, and I like Zach Brown, so I enjoyed it. I will say I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, so next, I guess on my list would be the
Blood Moon was next, I think.
Yeah. Let's go into the Blood Moon. I guess we left off the Exile Island decision thing. That's something we forgot about to mention with Exile Island.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. Yeah, and that kind of ties into what you were talking about with like choosing the idols on a journey. I love that. Blood Moon. All right, I don't want to just rant for 5 minutes, so I'm going to summarize it quickly here. Absolute disaster. Production. This had a lot of potential. It flopped hard. Unfortunately, it was just a really, really bad twist, and it changed the outcome of the season in a lot of ways. Maybe they're afraid to do more than one elimination in a single vote, but I think we would have had a much more interesting episode if there was a 17-person tribal council or even a 15-person tribal council and you still have Rizzo and Ozzy at the Exile Island together. But man, this was just such a disaster the way it played out. I guess you would say Colby was maybe not screwed, but Camilla got absolutely screwed and Genevieve got screwed. So it just really didn't work out. I would have loved to see, though, a 17-person vote, like put every single person on the same beach, give them a merge feast, let them eat, and then the top three, if you want to eliminate 3 people, the top 3 people who receive votes get voted out, that tribal, and just tell all the players the structure of it before tribal so they all know and they can plan for it. And then you would get a very chaotic, probably live tribal council, and you'd get a lot of idols and advantages played that episode because people are going to want to have a lot of say in that vote. And it probably would have been like the best tribal council of all time if they did that.
Absolutely.
Well, and one of my other thoughts was, like, yes, do the 17-person tribal, but as they're getting ready to head out of tribal, Jeff's like, sit back down. We're doing another vote.
That would be cool. They've done that on Australian Survivor, and Australian Survivor is where they kind of like test out a lot of twists and like I guess what do you call it? Play test things for American Survivor. A lot of things have debuted on Australian and then come to American. So that's a great idea, Jacob. I love it.
And at the absolute least, what they should have done if they were play testing it this season is they should have just done it when there was 3 tribes without a tribe swap.
Like just send all 3 of them. Yeah.
If it was just the original 3, like where it's
because then at least the players can prepare for that situation. You're just kind of
right.
I think the reason they didn't do that was I feel like when they bring these all-star casts back, they want to give everyone, like in the same way that for 40, they did it Edge of Extinction style, where it's like they want to give these all-star players, or as many of these all-star players, their fair share of airtime to some degree. So they're not going to eliminate multiple people early on, I would think. But then that bottlenecks it towards the end of the game where somebody gets screwed. Or you hate when somebody doesn't have a fighting chance, and that's tough.
So next would be the one in the urn, the Jimmy Fallon twist. Let me get your guys' thoughts on it before I tell you mine. Let's start with Jacob. How are you feeling about the one in the urn?
I didn't hate it as much as other people did. I was sad to see Christian go. I thought it was an interesting twist. I thought it added to the show a little bit. It was sad to see Christian go on a puzzle. Like I think there was a poetic moment there. If it were me, the only way I would change that twist is maybe he has to vote for himself at some point. Like maybe in the next 2 or 3 tribals, like or every time he goes to vote, there's a paper with his name on it, and you have to use this by final 5 or something, and you have to drop this vote for you in the urn at some point.
For me personally, it's kind of like what we were talking about that night that it happened. It was just way too much of a risk for the reward that there was.
Yeah.
That's really all that it comes down to for me.
I also would have liked to see Christian have the option to like not do this. I mean, I understand that you're forcing someone. I guess that's like part of the danger of Survivor and everything.
This was like the dice roll. This was like the dice roll from 47.
And he had the option because remember Joe. This all started after Joe won immunity and they had to pick someone, and then he made everybody do rock paper scissors. So I guess you could say Christian didn't have to do it if he didn't want to, or like didn't have to volunteer for it if he didn't want to.
Right.
But like yes, going back to what you said, the reward for it was certainly not as much as the risk was. And I think to balance it out, all you have to do is just remove that whole like reading the note thing. Like if it was just a secret one in the urn, that's a lot more fair because
then
it's
everyone on your beach knowing that you have to vote for yourself.
Yeah. And that just buries you. That like every single person finding out about it, it's like, oh, let's just vote him out. He's got no ability to play a shot in the dark and he doesn't have immunity. So it's just easy. It just absolutely buried Christian. And I think it's been discussed enough in the community as it is. So I don't think we'll ever see that twist again. I think that's a one and done. Let's go into the auction. What'd you guys think of the auction this season?
I wish there was a hidden something in there.
There typically is.
Right.
There typically is.
I
Jeff's
personally,
always changing it up, man. I'll give him credit for that. It's nice to see it flipping up. Always.
I was gonna say I like to see that there wasn't something hidden. I like to see that it was like an auction, like from like the original seasons. Like everyone got to truly enjoy it. There wasn't really anything bad. Like
You got to keep the
everyone-
players on their toes, and this will change for the new open era in the future. People will look back and be like, "Oh, there is going to be a possibility. There are no clues, or there are no advantages at the auction. So maybe somebody got nothing." And then that also is like a thing where if somebody actually does find something at an auction, you want to be discreet about it because maybe you can actually get away with it and nobody will suspect it in the future.
right.
So it's good it's healthy for the metagame, for the format of the show. It's healthy to change it regularly.
Just switch it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And then I think what was the theme of the auction? Like controlled chaos or something like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you remember the exact wording from Jeff? I didn't. Here, I might have it in my notes. Hold on. What episode?
Something
number
or
was that?
chaos.
Yeah.
Was it controller chaos? Or-
Comfort.
Comfort. Yeah.
Comfort or chaos.
I don't know if it was comfort or chaos. Oh, okay. It was episode 10. Didn't write it down in my notes. But yeah, Survivor inflation is real though, man. We had chicken tenders and fries go for 160. A milkshake went for 100. Charcuterie went for 280. Toothpaste $20. Grilled cheese $260. The shared items ranging from like 200 to 300, 350, 320. Mac and cheese went for 200.
I did like that they brought shared items back again too.
Mhm.
I did want to point that. Yep.
Yeah, I like
think
the
shared
also.
items is-
I also like how there was like somebody has a negative thing and somebody has a positive thing. So that was
Yeah.
cool. I do like the chaos or like or just normal thing where you don't know. It could be something ridiculous. It could be something very nice. I will say, Jeff, you got that one right, Jeff. Good job there. And it did lead to some drama. Like people were mad that Rizzo didn't finish his chicken. That was pretty funny. And then
He was
we
sick though.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Like I heard that I saw maybe it was on Reddit or something. I heard that he was in rough shape by the end of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
for
back-to-back
sure.
seasons will do that to you. All right, and then in terms of twists, I think all that would be left. Oh no, we got a couple left. So the coin flip, it came
Mr.
from the
Beast.
auction. Came from the auction. The coin flip. I guess
Yep.
Jeff just announces, "Hey, there's a Mr. Beast thing." I'm just gonna state my opinion on this now. Mr. Beast, if you want to give $2 million to the show, give $2 million to the show, dude. We don't need to have a coin flip for it. I think the reward for the coin flip and the punishment for the coin flip were not equal. So you're giving the reward to the whole group, to everyone who's out there, and then the punishment is an individual thing. I think that's kind of lame. And in most situations, the players are not going to take it. If that vote was like a big question mark and it wasn't obviously Rick Devens is gone here, I don't think anybody actually takes
They
that.
wouldn't
coin
have
flip.
taken that one.
There's no reason
No.
to. You're not going to put your like position in the game on the line for that.
I mean, we all saw
They're
that-
really lucky that Rick Devens was like dead there because Rick has no reason not to flip that coin. So what I would have done to fix it personally, if it were me leading the production, I would make it so like the individual person who flips the coin gets a ton of personal individual advantages. Like maybe you get 2 or 3 idols plus like a seal vote or something, just like an overwhelming amount of individual power. And then if you get it wrong, like you're out of the game. And on top of that, you get $0 as your payout. So there's a lot of risk individually and a lot of reward individually. So that way it's truly like, oh, hey, do I want to do this or not? Like there's some individual power. When it benefits the group as a whole, you're way less likely to get someone to step out and take the flip there, unless you're in a dead in the water position like Rick was. And
got
Mr.
him
Beast,
though.
Mr. Beast, you're a freaking billionaire, dude. Just give him $2 million. Like we obviously know that you want to pay your way onto the show and get your like name out there and make a celebrity appearance. Just throw in $1 million to the prize pot and get to sit in for tribal council. Like,
Right.
I don't know. You can have a beast coin too. Just make it an individual thing, not for the group as a whole. That's me on my pedestal here. That's how I feel about it. I don't know how you guys feel about the Mr. Beast coin, but they got really lucky with the way the game had shook out at that point when they introduced it.
They did. I liked it though. I thought Mr. Beast I thought he was very tactful with how he handled the show. Like he didn't eat up a ton of airtime. He didn't make it all about him. He brought an element of what he does to the show where, everything with him is all like it's risk and reward. And this was what, top final 10, final 9 that they were at this point. But like, to be given an idol there, like I think somebody would have taken that. I think, that's a, like Rick was dead in the water there, so it makes sense. But there's always someone on the bottom. I think somebody would have taken that flip, or somebody would have said, like, "I don't have."
Who else does that, dude? You're talking about a 50% chance you're out, and if you have, dude, I don't think anybody was considering it at all. Was it potentially Aubrey
and hugging him, and they literally all said, "Thank you for doing that," because none of us were going.
Yeah,
to do it.
I think Aubrey was the only one who was like, "I might do it," but even that was just like, I don't want Rick to get advantages.
Right.
That wasn't like I want the money for the group. It was just straight up, I don't want Rick to survive. So. I don't know, man. I think they got really lucky with that one, and I hope we never see a coin flip on Survivor ever again. It's going back to season 39. Season 39 a coin flip destroyed that season. We won't get into that on season 50 podcast, but just no more coin flips on Survivor. They have not been good. They really haven't.
In the open era, any twist that has happened before.
Yeah, I guess so.
We might be getting coin flips.
We might get Outcast twist from Pearl Islands where they feed the pre-jurors and then bring them back. Anyway.
We might get Hourglass again.
I think we skipped the twist. Also.
We did. I know which one you're talking about. We did skip a twist. I have it on my list here. It's next on our agenda. But anything else you guys want to say about the Mr. Beast coin?
Nope. No.
The one that I clocked that we skipped, and correct me if I missed something else, Jacob, but it's a double duo. I think we missed that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't like who went home there, but I did really like that twist.
I understand why they went home. I like the twist concept. I just want to see a tweak where wasn't it that the players voted individually or together?
Together, I think.
They voted
individually, right? I think they voted individually.
They voted individually, but you had to vote for the pair.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Okay. I would have liked to see the players as a duo have to vote together.
I like that.
So you get 2 votes. You get 2 votes, but you have to vote together. And if you don't vote together, your votes cancel. Like they just get canceled.
That would be
interesting.
That would be really cool.
So there's an element to it of like, do I want my vote to count or do I just want to cancel out my partner's vote because we're not actually allies? Like that's a mind bender. Mm-hmm. That could be really, really interesting.
That would have to be random partners though.
And if you want to get really chaotic with it, mix it in at the 17-person merge, send one person to Exile Island, so you're at 16, you have 8 pairs, and then you're losing 2 people at that point. You're still relatively on your schedule of eliminations, and then it's a crazy, chaotic, potentially the best tribal council of all time. So I think I'm with you, Jacob. Double duos has a lot of potential, but the first round of it, maybe not the best execution. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there.
The problem is, I think the surprise of it is what is part of what made it so great. So I don't think we'll see that one for a long time. I think we might potentially see several seasons of challenges where people pair up, and then it's not a double duo. Like I think that's got to be one that sits in the bank for a little while.
Let people forget about it for a little bit while they're tweaking it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next and the last twist that I clocked, and please jump in if I missed anything, would be the Power Broker twist. That was the immunity challenge where Tiffany had 2 feet on the thing and Jonathan won it after a video review. I appreciate, by the way, I really appreciate that Survivor showed us the video review. So we did get the instant replay and they did a little highlight over her feet and we got confirmation that, yes, this was an actual violation and Jonathan did legitimately win that challenge. So that was cool, leaving no question marks on the table for us. But yeah, thoughts on the Power Broker twist? Let's start with Jacob again. What are your thoughts on that final 9 vote? Final 9 votes. Sorry, final 9 votes with an S.
I liked it. I thought it was an interesting twist. I liked that Jonathan was able to pop back and forth. I think it was useful to the game and that it exposed Ozzy's ineptitude to play the social game. Like it did separate some people. So I in some ways liked it. I don't love when they narrow, that close to the end when they narrow the tribes down that bad or that small, because I think inevitably someone gets screwed. And I think the purpose of the twists is so that somebody doesn't get screwed. Way back when in Survivor, when there weren't twists, you had a tribe of 9 people, an alliance of 5 and an alliance of 4, and the alliance of 5 just whittled down the alliance of 4, and then 4 people got screwed. And I feel like that's why they put the twists in, is to keep people from getting screwed. And I think sometimes nowadays we see these twists and the twists end up screwing people rather than that initial goal of keeping it random and giving everyone a fair shot.
This comes to my theme for this season, which I brought up multiple times, is a lot of the twists I wasn't actually upset with how the twists were. It was the randomness of it. I feel like a lot of the twists this season was up to random chance. Sure, there might be some random chance in Survivor here and there, but there was a lot that was put up to randomness this season.
Mm-hmm. This isn't Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, I love that show. I don't think it's ever coming back, to be honest. I don't know if they got renewed, which is a shame because Don D is great. But yeah, I just want to go off what Chase said. There were a ton of random swaps and things that happened where there's just so many different permutations of what this game could have played out as. And yeah, I don't know. For the Power Broker, I think what would have been cool is if Jonathan's just straight up safe. Jonathan gets to go talk to everyone and have that level of influence, but Jonathan does not get to vote in either tribal, but he gets to sit in and participate on both tribals. So then you have 2 votes that are 4-4. Then it's really interesting. Jonathan controls all the flow of communication between the 2 sides. People can still play their advantages. Hey, maybe even Jonathan can play an advantage if he wants to steal a vote or whoever knows what. But I don't know. I think the Power Broker ended up just making it so that all the power was consolidated to Jonathan, and it was basically what he wanted on both sides ended up happening. So it's a good idea in theory. You just got to figure out a way to limit the power a bit of it because it just gives one person so much power. And I don't know. I'm kind of more of a purist with Survivor. I like seeing the social politicking, and
yeah,
I don't love it when one person just gets to dictate. So that's just kind of my thoughts there. All right, to round it out, I got a few more topics I want to discuss, and then we can get into anything you guys wanted to bring up too. The first thing I want to shout out, though, is, Jeff at age 60, what is he, 61, 62? Doing that challenge with the wrists, that was fun. That was one of my favorite moments of the season. I really enjoyed it. And I also really appreciated that we got Exile Island back this season. I've always been a fan of Exile Island, even though it eats a lot of screen time, I will say. But we got it in spurts this season, every 3 or 4 episodes, and it really wasn't a focus too heavy in any episode. With the exception of the very beginning where we had the Sweat vs. Savvy challenge or whatever you want to call it, earn the supplies challenge. We had that ate up a lot of time, but it was entertainment. Cerise coconut challenge was fun. Rizzo and Ozzy getting swapped over there and forming an alliance was really meaningful. That had a huge impact on the season as a whole. So yeah, I just want to give Survivor a shout out to Jeff doing the challenge. That was a really fun moment.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one thing I want to ask you guys, did Aubrey, in your opinion, win this season, quote unquote win? Or is it more just the other players kind of choked it away?
I mean, I think that's the point of Survivor. I feel like, and that's part of the issue with some of these returner seasons is that these fantastic players that everyone knows are fantastic are going to get picked off middle to end. So I think she knew when to turn on the gas. And I mean, I think she won it. She knew when to put her foot on the gas. And then, I wasn't the biggest fan for the first half of the show. The whole episode 1 or 2 where she had that weird spat with Genevieve. And I'm a big Genevieve fan. I'm like, this is weird. I don't like this. But she stayed under the radar well and knew when to come in strong.
Yeah, I agree. I think Aubrey did win this season. If you go back the last few vote outs, like it wasn't necessarily that someone the only thing that I might say that someone choked something away was, again, Ozzy.
Yep.
That's the only thing that I
blew
would
it for
say about-
Suri too.
Ozzy lost. He was never going to win. He lost it for Suri. And she knew
But
it.
were they really even going to take Suri to the end, even with Ozzy there? But again,
He
if
won.
Ozzy would have taken her, but would he even made it that far? It's too hard to say.
He had a higher probability than most to win either the final tribal or win the final second to last immunity challenge or the final immunity challenge.
But there were still too many people left to actually say if they were going to do that or not. So I would, again, that's why I kind of lean towards that. Yes, Aubrey won. I think it wasn't close enough to the end of the game to say that Ozzy choked someone's win away, but he did choke his own win away, or he choked his own alliance.
I think you're right about that, but in turn, it affected Suri pretty hard too.
Yeah, it did.
I think Ozzy was Suri's ticket to the finale, and she knew that.
Right, you were saying. Yep.
It's Suri's only win condition is a better way to word it. I think Suri had multiple paths to the finale with or without him. An immunity win probably needs to come in there from her. But yeah, Ozzy choked pretty hard, which if he doesn't do that, Aubrey goes home in that spot, and who knows what happens at that point. Maybe Tiff wins, maybe Jonathan wins, maybe Suri wins.
Tiff was
who
a puzzle
knows?
piece away.
So I want to get into the Aubrey edit topic. You had brought that up earlier, Jacob. But before that, I want to just talk about Aubrey's win. So I've always been of the mindset that the jury always gets it right. Survivor is ultimately who the jury votes to win. So the jury of each season determines who the winner is. The jury can't be wrong. The jury voted 8-3-0 this season. 8 Aubrey, 3 Jonathan, 0 Joe. Steph, Coach, and Chrissy were the votes for Jonathan. I think Aubrey deserved a win, especially given the demographics of the jury. She played the best game with the hand that she was dealt, metaphorically speaking, in a card game sense. You can't blame her in any way for the luck that she got along the way, especially with the Blood Moon situation and the Power Brokers situation. And the double duo situation. It was almost her and Rick getting voted out there. So she survived a lot of moments with things that were out of her control and a lot of luck on her side. Rick bluffing at double duos saved her game. Power broker situation, Ozzy blowing his own game saved her there. And then in the Blood Moon spot, getting swapped against Genevieve with your allies on your side is what saved her there. So a lot of situations Aubrey could have been on the other side of where she went home. But ultimately, she played a great game. She balanced jury management very well, better than Jonathan did. She didn't have any enemies on the jury at all. Jonathan definitely had people that were pissed at him on the jury, and that's ultimately what it came down to. If it were me on that jury, I think personally I would have voted for Jonathan because I personally like Jonathan's gameplay from what I saw in the edit, at least a little better than Aubrey's. But I don't think Aubrey's a bad winner in any sense. I think she's a deserving winner. And she got 8 votes. What can you say? She played a great game. Yeah. She made the best of the situation she was in and killed it. And now she's a legend forever. Winner of season 50. So congrats to you, Aubrey. Golf clap. And yeah, do you all have anything to say about the way she played before we get into her edit?
Well, Chase, who would you have voted for if you were sitting on the jury?
Oh, yeah. Great question. Sorry, I forgot to ask you guys.
I probably would have voted Aubrey, honestly.
What about you, Jacob?
I think I would have voted Jonathan. As soon as he played D, and I think of D as a very savvy player. And when he pulled the strings behind the scenes there, I became a Jonathan fan. So,
yeah, for me, I think he made more cutthroat moves in the game, and that's what I value a little more than the moving back and forth, the fluidity of Aubrey's game. Not saying I don't respect that. I totally do respect that, but I just like the stand that Jonathan had to take in a lot of moments.
So if you asked me right after the finale, I would have said Jonathan. it took a little bit of time to process, which I know some jury voters say the same thing. They say they would have voted someone else instead of who they actually voted for. But after taking the past month and a half to marinate, the biggest thing that puts Aubrey over Jonathan for me was that Aubrey kind of did play Jonathan a lot of the post-merge, where I know she was a little more fluid going back and forth, but like, I'd say they were both at 50-50 for me, but the fact that Aubrey was able to play Jonathan was not able to play Aubrey is what puts Aubrey over Jonathan for me. Like, there was a lot of the votes where Aubrey planted the first seed in Jonathan's head, or Jonathan thought it was his idea, but it was actually Aubrey's. That gets that slight edge for me.
I think she had a better performance at Final Tribal Council, which is something that matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Your public speaking ability and your delivery is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys satisfied with the way this ended? You feel good about the season?
Yeah, I was a little sad when Suri went out. Like, I absolutely loved the season until the episode Suri went out, and then I was like, none of the people that I loved pre-merge were still in at that point. But I'm super happy to see Aubrey win. I think she played a great game, and I did love watching the entire season.
I think this season was about middle of the pack for me. Out of the 50, I'd say it wasn't the best, but it wasn't awful. It could have been a lot better, sure. I know we've gotten a lot of scrutiny because it is season 50 and it was in the hands of the fans, which obviously it wasn't. But as far as looking at the season as a whole, I think it was about middle of the pack.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I probably have it around 25 to 30 in my power rankings. Which, speaking of that, Chase, another off-season podcast for us. We're definitely going to talk about it each of the 50 seasons here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, definitely averaged. I won't use the term mid, but definitely an average season for me. Cast really brought it. The gameplay kind of fizzled out a bit, but I also think the amount of twists that were being thrown at these players kind of tends to lead to a bit more conservative and passive gameplay because nobody wants to. I mean, they all saw what happened to Camilla, for example. Camilla makes a big move and then immediately gets put in a position where she's in danger because of it. So I don't know. I guess the fans, quote unquote, wanted dynamic, aggressive twists. So we got it. And hopefully that cools off a bit for the open era. And that leads me into my last topic here. We'll get into the Aubrey edit first before the last topic. Let's talk about Aubrey's edit. Jacob, you brought it up at the beginning. So you said Aubrey got a bad edit. What's your thought on that?
Early on, ever since her little beef with Genevieve in the first or second episode, I just thought that painted her in a weird picture. And all the great moments this season, I feel like that's just something that didn't really need to be shown.
You're right. They gave her a very weird edit in the beginning. It was like very poor of an edit, in my opinion. It was a lot of bad moments, and I don't think anybody thought that she had any win equity up until her moment after the auction where she was talking about Michelle from her original season, Cow Wrong, that she was on, where Aubrey got second place to Michelle, and how she wanted to emulate Michelle's game. And that was kind of where I started to see, oh, this is a winner's edit from Aubrey. Aubrey's got a lot of potential now because they wouldn't show something like that if it wasn't meaningful and impactful and mean like something for the rest of the game.
Right.
And nobody else was getting moments or content like that. So after that, I think that was in episode 10 or 11. I started to think to myself, Aubrey's probably going to be the winner here. They show things like that for a reason. And it ended up being the reason she won. She had better jury management than Jonathan did. And that's why Michelle beat her in season 32. So yeah, all in all, I think Aubrey's edit was not great for the pre-merge, and then in the post-merge, it got a lot more traction and a lot more steam here.
Yeah, and I think production likes to play with people now, where I think if you go back 10 years before people really started digging into the edits, it painted a pretty clear picture who was winning relatively early, where I truthfully thought, like, the first half of the season, I thought Christian had it in the bag. And then I thought, well, Cerise's made it this far, like, she's getting all the airtime. She's getting good confessionals. Like maybe it really is Cerise. And then they kind of, so it's almost like they were toying with us a little bit.
I was bought in as Sari pretty hard. I don't know if you were keeping up with our podcast throughout the season, but I was like very much thinking Sari was the winner. And then as soon as Sari got eliminated, I was like, oh, it's Aubrey. For a while there. Chase was, and we were doing our longevity rankings after each episode during our like Wednesday night podcasts, and I kept telling him, dude, Aubrey's got a winner's edit. We got to put her high, and he was always low on her. He didn't think she was going far. So, yeah, I don't know. It looks like I can see him in the mirror. He's coming back.
Yep.
I guess let's just get Chase's opinion real quick before we move on. Thoughts on Aubrey's edit as a whole. To summarize what Jacob and I just said, we thought that her pre-merge content was very poor. Nobody thought she had any win equity up until the merge when she had the confessional after the auction about how she wants to play more like Michelle and she understands why she lost to Michelle. She wanted to focus on her social game in season 50, and that ultimately was why she won the game. But yeah, I guess give me your thoughts, Chase, on the overall edit from Aubrey.
Overall edit from Aubrey. I mean, I kind of agree with you guys. I didn't really understand why they were emphasis, like Jacob brought up earlier. I didn't understand why they were putting so much emphasis on the beef between Aubrey and Genevieve. But it kind of was the first. I think when Genevieve got voted out, that was kind of the story that Aubrey's edit was telling. Was that, all right, Aubrey was able to get the one person out that she was beefing with. And then from then on, for me, is when I started considering her, oh, she might go far. I was also, I don't know. I thought it was also weird that she was also part of the alliance with Christian and Devins, but they didn't really show her as a tight person with those two.
But I think part of it was when she realized she had to break away from that alliance.
Yeah,
and she actively
exactly.
said to
That's
the confessional, like, I need to get away from these people. I need to distance myself.
But I meant early on, I didn't really see it.
Well, they gave her an idol. They were
It made
trying.
sense.
They were trying to include her. They boomeranged an idol over to her, so they were trying to bring her in.
Yep.
So of course they're going to associate. The editors, at least, are going to associate her with them.
Yeah.
She is associated with them because of that. I mean, it's unavoidable.
Right. But yeah, no, when she started breaking out, and then again, like you guys brought up the whole, when she brought up the Michelle thing, I don't know. I thought her edit was fine, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was fun. You want to talk about the open era before we wrap it up here?
Sure.
All right.
Let's start with you, Chase.
So, every twist that we have ever seen, that's the biggest part that I'm worried about, is every twist that we have ever seen is available. That means the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think at least in the first 2 to 4 seasons, we're going to see even the ugly ones. Whether that be Edge of Extinction, Coin Flip, Hourglass. I hope
Outcasts.
Outcasts, yeah. Like
Redemption Island.
Okay, so I was gonna bring that up. I love Redemption Island.
Mm-hmm. It just eats so much screen time, dude. It's 20 minutes of every episode that season.
No, but Nick,
both seasons.
Nick, but with the new format where each episode's an hour and a half, there is a little bit more time.
I guess. There are some twists I'm worried about. I love the overall concept though of like anything can happen. So be on your toes. Anything can happen.
Can we see Ghost Island again? A new updated version of Ghost Island? Like, I don't know if you consider that a twist. I know that's more of
a twist. It's kind of like a journey where they get something.
Yeah.
An updated Edge of Extinction. I liked Edge of Extinction if it if it ended at the merge. Give one person a shot to make it back in at the merge, and then it's done. I don't like the concept of like somebody pops back in at Final 5 and then wins.
Big Brother did that a few seasons, and that was pretty solid. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't like Chris Underwood. Great win, but yeah,
a winner's a winner. The jury doesn't get it wrong.
Natalie almost did the same exact thing. I don't love Natalie Anderson, but that's wild. I don't like that you can just sit out the entire game until you play the first 3 days and the last 3 days and you win.
I agree.
Now I give.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I actually like Edge of Extinction. I'm definitely one of the minority here. I like the Edge of Extinction.
I give
personally.
credit where credit is due because you are basically surviving on an island with no supplies for 20 days. So you got to give props to those people.
But there's
because
no social game.
There is
a social game.
Honestly,
There is a social game
No,
because the
Jacob,
Edge
you're
people are on the jury.
the Edge people are on the
And
jury.
that's
And-
why I like it. That's why I like it. It
And the people who
rewards
get voted
people.
out go to the Edge of Extinction, so they get to hear everyone on the Edge gets to hear about everything that happened that was in the game.
I also really like the concept of Edge of Extinction for the reason that it gives you a large jury. I think we had an 18-person jury or something like that in Survivor 40. That's interesting. That alone is interesting. You're not losing all these pre-jurors, and they just never hear from them again. And I also I will say, I like it much better for a returnee season. I don't love it for a newbie season.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have Edge of Extinction, we wouldn't have Rick Devens on season 50. So let's just
That's
right.
true.
Just ended at the merge. That's all.
Now again, I know, like you said, we'll talk about this on another podcast. But good fire tokens. That's one thing you and I do 100%.
Yeah, we're definitely in alignment on that. I like fire tokens as well. I'd like to see that become a permanent staple of Survivor, but I know it's a very unpopular take. All right, well, we're coming up on an hour and a half. I think we've done a great job of talking about everything I wanted to bring up. Do you guys have any major topics that we didn't touch on today?
Do you want to see what we built?
Yeah, absolutely. Is it convenient to get to it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very convenient.
Yeah, show me. Let's show the world.
So we got. Yeah, spin the laptop.
Yep, I'm going to spin the laptop. Can you see that?
Oh, nice.
So we got the flag rigged up. It's tied. There's a fishing counterweight there. So as soon as it burns through, the flag will pop up. We
Nice.
spent an hour chopping wood earlier. So we've got kindling. We've got sticks. We've got some Amazon official coconut husk.
Nice.
We've got flint. And we're gonna go. Light some stuff on fire.
We're about to go have our own fire making.
Oh, man, I'm so jealous. I wish I could be there. That is awesome. You guys knocked that out of the park. That looks great.
I spray painted it with a lot of heat resistant spray paint. Like
Nice.
It's like the spray paint used on grills. So I'm hoping that it survives. And
We don't burn our contraptions down.
so
Nice,
hopefully
dude.
we can use them over and over and over again. So
You guys did a
excited.
great job with that. That looks so much fun. I can't wait to see the video. I guess let's just say it'll probably be on our social media for Reality TV Aftermath.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess, Chase, do you have any, speaking of social media, do you have any social media content creators you want to shout out? Because I know you normally do that. Anyone else you want to pit? It's been a week or two since we podcasted.
Not content creators right now, but I just want to remind everyone too that we are branching out, and we are, or at least I and one of our other friends, Aaron, we are going to be covering Big Brother this summer. So stay in tune for Big Brother stuff coming up.
I want to give a social media shout out. I'm going to shout out Phil from The Specialists. I think he is the best Survivor podcaster in the business, and he kills it every time. And he's definitely the voice of the community. He says things that people are afraid to say on other podcasts, and Phil speaks the truth. So if you guys are like looking for other podcasts in Survivor in this community, check out The Specialists. That guy Phil runs it, and he does a great job. So that's that. I love his content. So that's who I would want to shout out. But yeah, anything else to close us out here?
No, I mean, happy Survivor. I'm going to miss it for the next 3 months, but we got some more content and some more podcasts, maybe not every week, but we got some more content that we're going to come up with over this summer. And then, like I said, starting in July, get rare, maybe even end of June, whatever. I mean, honestly, as soon as Cast gets released, Big Brother's going to be on the books for every week.
And depending on when Survivor Season 51 airs, I will probably be in attendance. My wife and I are expecting a baby in November, so life will obviously drastically change then, and I'm sure the late nights will be extremely difficult for me, and I will probably be dealing with a lack of sleep, so I can't guarantee availability when I have an infant in my life. But up until then, I'll be podcasting and doing my thing with Chase.
Yep. And then
yeah.
once Nick is out, I'll be the main host for Survivor. Hoping to get Sam in for a few more again. Jacob, if he needs to cover, if Sam can't.
Potentially other co-hosts. Yep. And I'll definitely jump in as
yep.
much as I can. But you'll be driving the
Absolutely.
show for a while.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. It's been fun. I think we wrap
on
it
that
up
note,
here
all right.
just under an hour and a half. Yeah.
Nice.
Hell of a time, and we'll have a few postseason podcasts and some content for everyone in the off season here. So thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see y'all soon with more Survivor content. Love you guys.
See ya.
See ya.